You can still
Anyway.
watch them.
I will.
No, you won't.
Never.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
So, favorite snack at the theater?
It depends. It really depends on how I'm feeling. I got Twizzlers 2 days in a row this week.
Come on.
Seriously.
Mix it up a little bit. Don't get it 2 days in a row.
Get Charleston Chews next time.
They don't have them.
We used
Get
to put
Milk
the
Duds.
Charleston Chews in like the freezer at the theater that we used to work at.
I thought I don't think
no
that was a
one
good
bought
idea.
them.
Yeah,
No, because
I
they're
like
like
melted
rock
chocolate.
hard.
Yeah.
The
Junior mints were
Junior
amazing,
mints
though.
was a good idea. That was smart. That was
Yeah, because
a
it
good
was like
idea.
dark chocolate and it melted after a bit and it intensified.
Like when people order Junior mints, I would always be like, "Oh, do you want those or do you want the frozen ones?" And they were just like, "What?" It like changed their
yeah,
life.
exactly. Then you can.
They're like, you know what? Can I get a ticket to the next showing too of the same movie?
Also, can I have
Yeah.
a $4 bottle of water? Thank you.
It's $3.75, but it's true.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Hello there. Tom, I'll need a ride home.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Basically, over the course of a week, we watch 3 acclaimed films that we've never seen before. We then get together and have a discussion, make some bad jokes, and help expose some under-the-radar films. We got some interesting movies this week. The last month, we've been doing horror movies because of Spooktober. I know this episode is coming out in November, but the last month, we've literally been just watching nothing but horror movies. So it's good to finally get out of that, especially
I'm
with
tired.
next week's films, which we'll announce at the end of the podcast. So this is our last week of horror. So we picked some interesting movies, and we got a little mystery at the end for the third film, where we got to kind of go our own ways and pick a horror movie of our own choice. Have a free
Well, if
reign of
you've read
whatever
the cheat
movies.
sheet, mine is not a mystery, but hopefully you haven't.
Oh well, okay.
I just wrote secret.
Yeah,
You said,
I just didn't
you
post
said
anything.
to write it, so I was like, okay, I guess I will. I guess they won't look at it, but I probably did.
Well,
I
we'll
did.
reveal those over
That's okay.
towards the end of the podcast. But right now, we're gonna dive into Nathan's crazy weird movie. Why don't you take it away?
You know, I don't think you've called me Nathan in years.
Yeah,
Well,
but
there you
you're
go.
Nathan.
You're Nathan.
My dad was saying that we should call you Ned, like Ned Schneebly and Ned from The Simpsons, just as a joke and see how you react. And I was
Okay,
like,
my film was.
I guess that's the reaction.
All right, so my pick this week was David Cronenberg's 1979 body thriller, The Brood. Yeah, really
Oh,
intense.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just about a father who's looking after his daughter, and he's trying to figure out some of these things that this mysterious psychologist is doing with his mentally unstable wife. Kind of bizarre, but it's Cronenberg, so, like, what else do you expect?
Yeah, and that's just because it's Cronenberg, that doesn't really mean anything to me because I haven't seen any Cronenberg movies.
You gotta watch The Fly, at least.
I would like to watch
Have
The Fly.
to watch The Fly.
It's just a really good movie.
Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. It's actually really good. He did that movie. He did this movie. He did the movie right after this movie. I think like a couple years after.
Yeah, just the fact that the Bloom is in it makes me want to watch it. You know,
The Bloom.
Bloom.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone
so,
calls him the Bloom, but
yeah,
I'm calling him the Bloom.
My,
What?
my name's Jeff Goldblum. Yeah,
Thank you, the Bloom.
that wasn't good. Okay, yeah. So it was bizarre, huh?
Very
slow.
much so. Holy shit!
John didn't like the pace of it at all.
I think
you don't know
I think
that.
that's something we can all agree on, though, is that the pacing of this movie was so slow. It
I
just
fucking
like
tried, bro. I tried.
See, that doesn't bother me though, because I'm used to watching old horror movies like this. So slow pace is kind of normal for me now. Like I never really have a problem with pace unless it's like noticeable, like Beautiful Boy.
Oh, that wasn't an
Wait,
issue
the
for me.
Timothée Chalamet
Beautiful.
movie?
You're
Yeah.
bringing up Beautiful Boy right now. Okay.
Just pacing wise, but like
Oh.
this movie was slow, but
I think compared to Beautiful Boy, this movie was like watching a 12-hour baseball game that fucking doesn't end.
Okay, I
that's
wouldn't
not
go that.
possible.
I would not
Like,
go
the
that
longest
far.
game on record's like 4.5 hours.
No, there's one that went like 30 innings. It was like 5 years ago, I think.
To get back on to get back on track, I think it takes its time to set up the story. I mean, I was kind of getting bored, especially the first 2 acts. I was kind of like, where is this movie going? It kind of just focused on like this weird therapy that this guy was doing on this like unhinged wife, and the husband was trying to track her down, and his daughter was meeting these weird dwarves that were just like invading like
Oompa
her
Loompa
home.
looking fuckers.
Yeah, it was very strange, and it was like, what is this movie trying to do? And then the third act, which is literally like the last 10 minutes of the movie, it's revealed, but I don't feel like it really earned its reveal. It just like was just out of nowhere, and it was Cronenberg like, oh, I'm gonna do this body horror reveal, and like it's just gonna be like just so abrupt. But
He was just going for shock value at the end.
Sure.
Like literally, it was just like they were sitting. To me, it was kind of reminded me of Phantom Menace, to bring that up again, because they were just talking, having like conversations for like the first hour and 10 minutes between the psychiatrist and then the wife, I guess, and then it kind of cut back and forth between the dad and his daughter. But like nothing really happened other than a few kind of bloody scenes with the Oompa Loompas. But yeah,
Oompa Loompas.
whatever
Oh
they
my
were,
Lord.
they were just I hated them so much. But the last 10 minutes, it has that shock value scene. You're just like, okay, that's disgusting. For me, I almost threw up because I just have an issue with that stuff. You know,
it was not that bad.
it was. I mean, it was gross.
It was
It
gross.
was kind of icky.
It wasn't that bad.
It's
Ew.
just it was unexpected.
Yeah, I
And,
mean,
like,
for sure.
the more I think about it, the more the story does kind of make sense, because are we allowed to do any spoilers for this? Because it was
You say
1979.
spoiler.
Yeah, go for it.
Just-
I mean,
okay.
if you want to go
If
for
you've
it,
never
make it
seen The
graphic.
Brood and want to, stop like now and go. Yeah, like whenever the psychiatrist is talking to the wife about one of her family members that she didn't like, she sicked the kids on them. Because remember, they do whatever she says.
Yeah. Yep.
That started to make sense to me, because they started talking about, oh, I'm your father. This happens when the father comes in. Oh, I'm your mom who did all this to me. What happened to the mom? Everything that they talked about in those conversations connected to what was happening.
Yeah.
So that makes me like, I think that might have just given me like a half-star grade on it, like more than I did. But it was just, I get what you mean though. It was just kind of stereotypical movie with some stomachs in it.
I'm glad that the conversations had some sort of meaning, because those were the parts where I was just like, this is dragging so much. They were just trying to kind of make the mom look creepy and shit, and I was
I
just
thought
like,
she was creepy.
she
Yeah,
was,
she
but
was
to me,
really
especially
good.
in that end. Oh my
I thought it was a
god.
little over the top, man. I don't know.
Because her eyes would get open, she's like,
Yeah,
Oh, really?
performance-wise, she was great. I mean, overall, I thought the performances were really good, and I liked Art Hindle, who kind of looked like a mix of Topher Grace and Robert Redford. He just
All I
had that
saw
like
was Topher
really
Grace.
like specific look. But yeah,
I
it
liked
was.
Oliver Reed in it. He was in Porky's.
Oh, the therapist.
No, wait, was he the therapist?
I think so. I think he was a therapist.
I thought he was the lead guy.
No, that's Art Hindle.
Oh, okay, that guy then was the sheriff in Porky's. For
Okay.
those of you who've seen
I've
Porky's.
not seen Porky's.
Oh,
Still
watch
have yet
Porky's.
to see Porky's as well. Yeah.
Another
But yeah,
movie. They're added
I
to the
thought
list.
he was pretty good, but for me, I thought the wife was great. Just because
Okay.
she seemed so unhinged.
Yeah.
Because she was.
Yeah.
Very much
and
so.
So were her innards.
Ugh.
But yeah, I
So
mean,
disgusting.
I've seen a good amount of Cronenberg, like The Fly, Videodrome, a couple of his new ones, like Maps to Our Stars and Cosmopolis.
Did
I've
he
seen
do
a
the
good
Dead Zone?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen The Dead Zone with Christopher Walken. That's a good movie. That one's not really like as like grotesque as Cronenberg usually likes to go. But this was kind of his first attempt at doing like a body horror movie. This was 1979, and so his mainstream movies kind of came up in the 80s, and that's when he started to kind of really dive into the body horror. And like we've mentioned, The Fly specifically. that movie is just amazing. It's just
And
in terms
Videodrome.
of just like the costumes and the makeup. It's exactly, and Videodrome too. That's a really cool movie. But I mean, so it was cool to kind of see where his roots were going to go, especially later in his film career. And but overall, I mean, I just don't see myself really wanting to see this one again. I'm glad that I saw it. It's on the Criterion channel, so you can give that one a watch. It's got an interesting, it's got an interesting reveal. But I'm just going to grade it. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's just barely fresh for me.
Okay. All right, John.
Yeah,
boy,
man.
Let's hear it.
This was the first Cronenberg movie for me, and I don't think it was a very good start. That doesn't mean I don't want to see his other movies, obviously.
You got to see The Fly.
The Fly has a great story.
Maybe we'll give it till next Halloween. We can throw that in the list.
Or next week.
Just watch it. It's a great movie.
It is
I need a break, but I will give The Fly a chance at some point. But this one, it was just, for me, man, it was just so slow, so painful to sit through. The first hour, I was like, I just wanted it to end, which when a movie does that, that's pretty bad in my opinion. But the last 10, 15 minutes, that they did add a little something to it, brought it up a grade for me.
Which is what?
like a 1.5.
I'm like right around 1.5, 2. That's pretty much what I gotta go. I gotta go 1.5, man.
Okay.
It was a rough watch. It was just a rough watch.
I figured.
Yeah. I wanted it to be over.
It was one of Cronenberg's that I've wanted to see for a while, and I was like, it's Cronenberg. Give it a shot. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I just like this kind of thing. Just like, there's something about late 70s horror, like that transition into the 80s style that I like, and it had I like the score. It reminded me of Friday the 13th a lot. Just kind of a lot of string orchestral music. But I give it a 3.5 out of 5. But I tend to look at these movies with more praise just because I like the genre.
Well, so, you have much more appreciation for them.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. But I understand why you guys saw it as wicked slow, because it was. But I'm just kind of used to those styles with these types of movies. And I thought the reveal was just off-putting and in a subtle way really creepy.
Yeah,
just
and
like,
I mean,
okay.
And I definitely don't mind slow movies. Like, a lot of my favorite movies are typically really slow. Just to me, it just like a story has to really hook me. And this one, it did, especially towards midway through the movie. Then I kind of understood what was kind of going on, and that third act definitely helped. I remember you specifically saying there was one point where it saved it, and this was definitely in the third act where it was just so clear.
So I was
like,
correct in telling you that there was a 100% chance that you would not miss that turn.
I would absolutely agree with that statement. But it was it's an interesting watch, and if you're into body horror or want to see some old Cronenberg, definitely give us one to watch. It's definitely interesting for sure.
Yeah.
To say the least. And that'll turn us into my movie of the week, which was a little bit different. Another kind of play on the slasher movie. Came out in 2017, directed by Tyler
McIntyre.
Wow, okay. That seems spelled weird, but that's McIntyre. Okay.
I mean, it basically looks how it sounds, right?
Because it's
it
Scottish
literally does.
heritage, man. Scottish.
Anyway, okay. Oh, well, you learn something new every day. Tragedy Girls, starring Alexander Shipp and Brianna Hellebrand, Jack Quaid, and Josh Hutcherson. And you might remember Brianna Hildebrand, I think. What's her name? From, Deadpool.
Megasonic Teenage Warhead, yeah.
Thank you very much. And appreciate it. I knew somebody wanted to say that. I was going to do it for this show, whatever. But yeah, it's a twist on the slasher genre. It's basically two death-obsessed teenage girls who kind of want to get popular in school and make their blog popular on the internet. They want to gain a bunch of followers by they are the murderers, and they want to kill all their friends in school. They have no empathy for the people that they kill. They don't care. And they just want to gain followers online because of it. So.
Hey.
Yeah. Why don't
Perfect.
I suck at giving synopsises, man. I suck at giving synopsises.
No, it's perfect for the social situations that's going on right now. People just want to be popular, so they're willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to.
Even if it means just walking up to a stranger and slicing their throat. Like, some people just do what they got to do.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's got to do it.
I just gave away my Tuesday plans. Yeah, so Spencer, Tragedy Girls.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really quite know what to go into this movie. I knew that it was kind of a horror comedy. I liked the main actresses a lot. I thought they did a great job in this movie. And Jack Quaid, who is the lead in Amazon's The Boys. And it was kind of cool to see him show up in this movie. It's kind of one of his like first roles. And he is the son of Dennis Quaid and, I just blanked on her name.
Wait.
What? Anyways.
Insert graphic here. I don't know.
Yeah. This woman.
This woman right here. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes.
But yeah, and so he was in this movie, which I like him a lot as an actor, especially in The Boys. He was great, and he's good here too. But yeah, this was kind of in a vein of Heathers and Mean Girls.
Oh,
but
you just read my comments? Okay, sure.
Oh, did you say that too? Honestly,
I literally that's funny. That's literally what I wrote down too.
But these movies are kind of hit and miss for me, especially when they're trying to be like comedic, dark thrillers, especially about serial killing and senseless killing. Mm-hmm. And it just depends on how the material is handed. Sometimes it really works, sometimes it doesn't, especially in who is behind the camera for this. And for me, this one didn't really work because I just couldn't buy into these girls actually being the killers and pulling this off. And just, it was very just over the top and unrealistic to the point that I was just not expecting it. I kind of thought it was going to be a little more like serious. And I thought it'd be interesting if they weren't really the killers, but yet they were tracking down the serial killer they kidnap in the first like 2 minutes of the movie. And they're like trying to be like they want to like be his mentees and stuff and learn from him. I thought it'd be a little more interesting if they like learned from them, but they went full comedic Heathers and just killed everybody in their town. So it was interesting, and I have a hard time kind of getting into these movies. It kind of reminded me of Ryan Reynolds' The Voices. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
I never saw that.
Good. I like that movie. I think that's a good movie.
It's good, but then again, it's like, oh, this is like a very comedic look into just brutal murders. But
it's one of those movies where the characters are just so repulsive. Like, it kind of reminded me of how I felt about the characters. Well,
like
what they were doing
gorgeous.
was they were, but what they were doing was like, yeah, repulsive.
They're basically just awful people. Like, I think of girls. These reminded me of the characters in The Bling Ring, who are just girls that do shit that you just hate so much, and no matter what they do, you don't want to be around them, and they just happen to be, murderers in this movie. They had no empathy for their victims. They killed people. They literally killed anybody that, would give them views on their blog. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It just,
I liked it.
I know, and that's fine. Like,
I like seeing original takes on slasher type movies because there's like a formula that's already in place for slasher movies, kind of like heroines, slashers. Like from Behind the Mask, they have the Cat Ahab character, like the hero's helper. I liked this because it was just two girls being totally sick. And normally characters like that wouldn't be this type of character, but the fact that these two extremely attractive, very personal girls were sadistic sociopaths.
And that's again, I could not buy into that the whole time, just because they're off characters, like with their parents. They just seem like normal girls, but then they have this like twist that they were these like crazy murderers.
But that's how a sociopath would act. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, they would be like that in real life. So I guess it kind of does make sense that they are kind of these murderers on the side, and their parents have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them as kind of like they were a mix between Patrick Bateman from American Psycho and those girls from Homeroom who are popular and feel the need to tell everyone they're popular. Right. Like, I'm sure everyone in high school knew those girls.
Okay.
That was just like in your face, like, oh, I joined my blog. Oh, follow me on this, follow me on that, mixed with like, hey, I'm gonna kill you, and I like it.
Except they weren't exactly like the popular girls in school. Like, they were kind of within those groups, but they weren't
class
like,
president, head cheerleader.
Well, after a certain, I guess that is true.
But I liked how they showed their different backgrounds. One's from a trailer park, the other's from a well-put home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they both just put up a nice, sweet front. They have good relationships with their parents, and then behind closed doors, they're just, hey, yeah, we're willing to do whatever possible to get views. And I don't know. I liked it. I don't know.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's actually where my opinion differs, because I didn't like that aspect. I just didn't like the tone of this movie, and I just found all the senseless killing just like a little bit repetitive, and The kills themselves, though, were very creative. I thought they were very cool, especially the Craig Robinson scene. That was awesome.
I will say that was one of my favorite
was
scenes. I wrote that down. That was really creative. And Craig Robinson is just funny on his own. So, and I kind of liked his character as well. He's just this like beloved guy. Yeah, Big Al in the town. Everybody loves him. He's screwing this other girl, one of the teachers. It's really funny. So
they worshipped him. And you would think he'd be this big football star like jacked. Craig Robinson isn't really a super fit dude. So it was just kind of funny. Just like, oh, it's Big Al. Yeah. Holy, yeah, it's Big Al. But no, Craig Robinson's great.
He is.
But they throw the barbells at him and they just bounce off.
No, I was engaged the whole time like
fun.
that.
I mean, I loved all the horror references that are in this movie, down to like the characters' names themselves are named after horror directors. It was just really interesting, and there's a lot of deep cuts within the movie. It just overall, I don't think the tone worked for me. I think if it went a different route, I may have enjoyed the story a little bit more, and especially just these characters, I couldn't get into them. They were just terrible people, and I just had a hard time connecting with this movie. I still give it a 2.5 out of 5. I still enjoyed watching it, and it's on Hulu, so you can give it a watch.
It sounds like you enjoyed it. I don't think it.
It sounds like Spencer thought it was a good movie, but not something he'd want to revisit or really recommend to anybody.
I didn't. I didn't mind watching it. I just when it ended, it's just like, it was okay. I just didn't get into it. It wasn't really my thing, but it was okay. I did enjoy how creative it was, though. I didn't mind that aspect. I thought that was okay. But yeah.
I just thought it was kind of a weird, unique look at coming of age times during our time period right now. Like, this was 2017.
Yeah,
so
it was very
relate
current
to some of the stuff that they're trying to do, as far as like being in high school, trying to get views, trying to get people to like them while killing people and keeping serial killers locked up in a shed.
Yes,
with zip ties,
right. And watching them on like a little like security camera on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know. I had fun. I'm in between a 4 and a 4.5. It's just it just clicked. I don't know. It just I like this. It had
it's your thing.
The music, like the Night of the Living Dead just on the TV in the background.
Yep, exactly.
True.
Which, funny enough, I think was also on TV in the background behind the mask. So I was like, that was in one of the previous movies. This is kind of a weird coincidence, but
it's a go-to classic.
But it was just, I had fun. I think I have like a new celebrity crush though.
Which one though?
Josh Hutcherson?
No, yes.
Okay.
Brianna.
That was mine.
Oh, Teenage Megasonic Warhead.
Yeah,
I think,
you were thinking of Meg Ryan.
Yes,
Meg Ryan.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Meg Ryan.
That's
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid's mother.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. Yes, thank you.
Got you.
Yeah. No, I looked that up. I was like, I really want to know who this is now. And I was like, oh, Meg Ryan.
And he was great in the movie too, as just this like the video editor that kind of had a crush on the Sadie's character.
Teenage Warhead.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't mind watching this movie. I just overall it didn't click with me. But John, what's your overall?
I guess I'm kind of in between both of you because I did enjoy the kills. I couldn't really get around the characters because to me they are very repulsive. When you can't really connect with characters in the movies, regardless of them being slasher serial killers, it's hard for me to kind of just enjoy them as much because they are just these awful people. But there is humanity to these characters, so you can't connect to them as much. Like
great performances, they were great.
Yeah, but
I just thought they were like they looked like they would actually be best friends,
right?
Even though one's 23 and the other's 28.
Yeah,
right. Well, when it came to the third act, there were these kind of like heartwarming, kind of coming of age movie moments between the Megasonic Teenage Warhead character and like the video editor guy, and I was like, oh, maybe she'll have a change of heart, but I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, I guess I did.
I think you can make a guess what happened.
Yeah, where I'm alluding to the fact that she ended up not having change of heart, and I was hoping that maybe it would go in a different direction, but it didn't. They just ended up being these sort of senseless killers, and that it just wasn't enough for me. I wanted a little bit more from, I guess, the script of that movie, but there were some cool scenes. I enjoyed the scenes with Josh Hutcherson. I thought he was really funny. Craig Robinson was really funny. I don't know. It was. It was good. I guess I did enjoy myself a lot more than The Brood, because I just basically wanted to fall asleep. But yeah, I had fun with it, so I'd probably give it a 2.5 out of 5 as well.
All right, you're matching my grade and echoed a lot of my points. So yeah, like I said, Tragedy Girls is streaming on Hulu, so if you guys want to give that one a watch, go ahead and let us know what you thought of that, and also let us know what you thought of The Brood if you watched that one, which I feel like not a lot of people have seen that movie. But
I feel like nobody's seen that movie.
But it's interesting. If you have seen these movies, please let us know in the comments and share your opinions. So this brings us to our mystery. What the fuck? Our mystery Halloween movie. Our mystery Halloween movie, where I basically decided to give a bit of a breather, being forced to watch all these specific movies. So, free reign, watch whatever movie we wanted to. The only requirement is that it has to be a horror or Halloween movie. You could have seen it before, it could be a new time watch, and we do not know what we picked. We just
You guys don't know what I picked?
I don't know what you picked.
Okay.
I don't know what Nate picked. I don't think you guys know what I picked. But
no idea.
We're going to reveal it right now, live on this podcast. It's going to be exciting.
Live for us, not for you.
So, Nate, I want to know what movie that you watched for Halloween.
I watched the Halloween classic, Trick or Treat.
Ooh.
I had to.
What was it?
Trick or Treat.
Oh, okay, sorry. It cut out right when you said that.
I have not seen that movie.
Michael Dougherty, 2007 movie, anthology movie, Anna Paquin, boobs and blood and candy and jack-o'-lanterns. This movie is just like the spirit of Halloween all in one. And I remember seeing the trailer a lot on like DVDs that I would rent from my local video store, and I'm like, why does this trailer keep popping up on all these movies? Mm-hmm. And so I finally watched it, and I'm like, this is the Halloween movie for someone that wants to have fun and also be a little scared, kind of. It has the spirit of Halloween through and through, and all the stories are great, and how they connect is fantastic. It's just one of those movies that I can rewatch anytime. Doesn't have to be just Halloween, but.
And like you said, rewatch. I've seen this movie maybe 4 or 5 times.
Damn,
I've watched this movie
like
so many times. It was one of the first like anthology movies that I'd ever seen, where they kind of just would do like little short films, and then like you said at the end, they just connect. And I thought it was just handled really well done. It was just incredibly well done. And I always enjoyed the one with the kids going down in the elevator, and then they were like all these monsters kind of start coming towards them.
With the school bus.
With the school bus?
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's creepy. And it's, I'm surprised, John, you haven't seen this, because I would watch this movie
you guys haven't
back
made
in
me
the
watch
dorms.
it.
I watched this
How
in the
have you
dorms
not
like folding
seen
laundry
this?
around October.
I don't know, dude. I
put this on all the time, yeah.
I know that you guys have like talked about this movie so many times, but somehow I just was never around when you guys were watching it.
Yeah, it's
But,
cool.
and I had no idea, like I didn't know it was one of those anthology movies either, just learning that now, but that sounds really cool, so.
Cool.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
and it's just, if you like the whole Halloween aspect, it's great. And it created kind of, I would say, a horror icon character in Little Sam.
I tried so hard to hold that in.
Jesus,
sorry,
man.
Damn it. I like plugged my nose. It didn't help.
That doesn't help.
God.
No, it wouldn't help. Look into like a bright light.
Yeah, that would like pop.
How
your
would that
eyes
help
out
at
of
all?
socket.
That makes me sneeze more.
You've never heard of that trick? If you have to sneeze, look into like a bright fluorescent light.
Well, all
I
my
thought
lights
that made you sneeze.
are off right now.
No, it actually helps. I used to do that all the time in like classrooms. I'd like look up and be like, okay, that helped.
Why? Because you're self-conscious about sneezing because nobody says bless you when you're a guy and not a hot girl?
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It's so fucking true. Anyways, moving on.
We proved it. Anyways, yeah. So what'd you give Trick or Treat?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 4.5.
Yeah.
Probably a 5, just because of how fun it is for me.
Okay.
And it's just.
You just hand out those 5 out of 5s. But I'm not surprised with that movie.
I just like.
Well, that one's kind of a classic.
It's
like
fun,
that.
and it came out in 2007. So a movie like that we can call classic. Not everyone would, but I would. Just
It's a Halloween classic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's simple. It has decent shorts all throughout that kind of intertwine, and there's like Halloween aspects in all of them, and it's just it's fun. You could just watch it on Halloween night and just pig out, drink some beers, and watch Trick or Treat. Like, that's the way to watch it.
I'm so pissed that I never experienced that, especially in the dorms with beer.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That would have been great.
Yeah, it was fun.
God, so many missed opportunities.
All right, Spencer. Let's see it. Let's hear it.
Ooh, okay.
I'm actually...
You're going next.
I kind of want to pass it. I kind of want to go last on this one, though.
Oh, you want to defer?
We always go last.
You want to defer to John?
I would like to defer, yeah. Just
Okay.
this one time. I like to end on this one.
Okay, I'm not gonna defer back to you. That wouldn't make any sense. So, yeah, man, I'll go with this movie. This is a movie that I have seen parts of, like on network TV, like probably years ago. I've seen small parts of it. I've seen sequels of this movie. I've seen prequels of this movie. Does that?
Predator.
No.
I know.
Same genre. Very, very much the same genre. There's actually been movies with this creature.
It's
and
Alien.
Predator. Yeah, it's Alien, yeah. So, yeah. Alien, 1979, Sigourney Weaver. I actually had it right here with more facts, but I was on Trick or Treat.
Who directed it, John?
Oh, well, that would be Ridley Scott, who the movies for Alien that I've seen literally just Prometheus and Covenant. So I haven't seen Aliens. I haven't seen Alien 3, which I won't watch.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just one of those movies that just I never got a chance to see. I think maybe I can't remember. It would have been like probably 15 years ago. I would have saw this like at my camp or something, but I remember none of it. So I feel like I haven't seen it. But
yeah,
I wanted to like actually sit down and enjoy this movie because it's just one of those that I know that I should see. It's on the top of every horror list. It's like competing with either it's Alien or The Shining as like the most well-received or well-loved horror movie of all time. And I can see why this thing is loved. It's truly just like a masterpiece of filmmaking, in my opinion. I think
Holy shit.
Sigourney Weaver was phenomenal in it. And I thought the special effects were just like some of the best I've ever seen, especially for a movie from,
some of the best you've ever seen.
Yeah, in terms of practical effects.
Okay.
So
you haven't seen Aliens.
I have not seen Aliens, which isn't that known as a better film?
Well, they kind of take
It's a
the whole
different
concept
movie.
and times it by 1,000 and make it an action movie.
Well, because James Cameron took it, so it's a completely different film. But
It's a very different movie,
yeah,
but it's awesome.
but in terms of just like a sci-fi horror movie, this thing felt contained, like it was contained in a ship and everything, and I was able to feel the horror elements that Ridley was trying to give you. I thought the alien, like the concept behind the alien itself, which I've already known about from the other films, but the fact that it sort of is born from this other creature, and it totally makes sense that this could happen from, I guess an evolutionary standpoint, so it's not like convoluted or anything, it makes sense.
The xenomorphs.
What'd you think of the cat?
Love the cat. Love what was named like Tom or some shit. Jones, no. I can't remember. The cat was cute though. Yeah, love cats. That probably put it to a 5 out of 5 for me personally.
Wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a scene when like the cat just hisses at the xenomorph and then it doesn't get killed?
Yeah, it's in like a I guess some futuristic like carrying case, and the cat's just like, and then the xenomorph is like whatever.
What was the cat like? I didn't hear that.
It goes or something like that.
Was he Jewish?
Maybe, yeah, something like it was a Jewish cat.
So you liked it?
I don't know. Yeah, I liked it. It was cool. I thought the classic film score, kind of reminded me of like early days of 80s blockbusters and stuff. It was shot really well. I had very little complaints over the movie, so I'm glad I finally saw it.
Have you seen this?
I've only ever seen it once.
Same.
And it's fine. Like,
Really?
I don't care for aliens as much. I don't
You like
know.
Alien more than Aliens?
No, I mean, I do not like Aliens
Oh, just in general.
as a movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's been like 6 years probably since I've seen it. So I don't remember a whole lot. I remember the famous scenes, but those scenes are like everywhere on like horror lists. But I will have to rewatch it, I guess. But I just remember I remember it being good for what it was. And I've seen Aliens too. I feel kind of the same way about that one. They flew under my radar, and when I checked them out, they just didn't connect with me, I guess, as much as some other people do, like you did when you just watched it.
Right.
You saw it with fresh eyes. And I just kind of give it an eh. Like,
Interesting.
Oh.
I think it's
Eh.
because it warrants a rewatch.
Yeah.
I think that's why. Because I feel like if I rewatch it from a different mindset, like watching movies continuously for a year, I'll probably appreciate it a little more. But
that makes sense.
I don't feel comfortable giving it a grade, seeing how it's been so long since I've seen it. So I'm going to pass on the grade. Just because I can't really give much input other than how I remember feeling. Just kind of,
It's been a while since I've seen it, too. I've only watched it once, and I think it was back in high school. I had the Blu-ray, and I ended up checking it out. And yeah, I did really enjoy it. I definitely don't think it's as good as other people are saying it is, but then again, like Nate said, I definitely should rewatch it, especially after all these other movies I've seen since then. So it's definitely warranted a rewatch, and I'm not going to grade it as well, since it's been like 5 or 6 years since I watched it.
Right.
But that's cool that you saw it, and what'd you grade it?
I'd probably go 4.5 or 4 or 5 out of 5. It was.
Damn.
I really didn't see any issues with it. It was a very self-contained sort of horror movie. I love sci-fi movies in itself. I just that's a genre that I really enjoy. So, you know, as a horror sci-fi and comparing it to like Prometheus, Alien Covenant, I thought this was a better film, and I already loved both of those, especially Prometheus. So yeah,
Controversial.
Very controversial opinion. I love Prometheus just because of you know the concept behind how the aliens kind of brought humans to Earth. I always thought that was a really cool idea.
All right,
great
very
movie.
cool.
haven't seen it.
Haven't seen Prometheus. Dang.
No.
Well, if you don't like Alien, then you know, I don't know. I don't know if you like it.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll like a prequel.
Hopefully.
Who knows? All right. Let's go,
Alrighty.
Mr. Drake.
So the movie that I watched is a movie that only John has seen. I am currently, since
gonna be
it's
fun.
only like 2 months left of the year, I'm currently on a 2019 binge, and this was a horror movie that I hadn't seen. I'm going to give you the plot synopsis. On Halloween, 1968, Stella and her 2 friends meet a mysterious drifter and uncover a sinister notebook of stories inside a haunted house. What movie is this?
This would be Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
It is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark with Guillermo del Toro as the producer, and it's from the
Solid
director
choice.
of Autopsy of Jane Doe, which I really liked. I thought that was a
I'll let
cool,
you guys take
underrated
this
movie.
discussion.
Yeah, Nate, you haven't seen this one, but you've seen Autopsy of Jane Doe, right? The
I have,
previous?
but I
Yeah.
feel like this is not anywhere near that.
It's
Here,
not.
I'm pulling up my
Absolutely
review right
not.
now because I don't quite remember what I said about it. But I mean, I can give you my,
No, it's
initial
fine.
thoughts right now.
Don't worry about it. So here's the thing. I used to
Okay.
love reading these books growing up. Like, some of them truly got under my skin and kept me up at night. And now we finally have a big screen adaptation with this director who I liked his previous movie. I thought it was very creepy and underrated. But with this one, I thought it was all right. It was fine. My biggest issue here is that it's just not scary at all. And like, I thought it was more humorous than scary. It really felt like a movie meant for audiences reading the books at the time, which for me, it was like elementary and middle school. I mean, the creature effects were cool. The CGI I thought was well done. There was some well-composed shots. Just overall, it had no like effect on me. I thought it was fun watching it. I watched it on Halloween, and it takes place on Halloween, so that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose this. I did like the whole 60s production design. I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought it was definitely very true to it. But I just didn't like the main characters. I thought the performances were a little weak. I didn't really get into them, and it was all right. It just didn't do anything for me.
It is kind of an movie. It's sort of more like a mystery thriller rather than like kind of like a Nancy Drew type thing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than like trying to like jump scare you or have this like genuine terror feel to it. But it's just kind of like that little girl with the glasses trying to figure out, why these things are happening to her friends.
Exactly. But I think this movie could have worked better as like a mini series, as in like each episode was kind of one of the short stories that are in the books, and that way they can kind of get like a different director on those things, make it kind of like an extended anthology. And I kind of even wish they did this with the Goosebumps. Instead of doing like the movies, they did this with the books, and they made like episodic adventures with these stories.
You read these books as a kid? Because I didn't even know
they were
these
in
were
they were in like
kids'
the
books.
libraries. Yeah, they were always in some of the teachers' classrooms, and I'd always read them and be freaked out. Like, I would take them home and read them, and I remember some of the stories like really genuinely freaking me out.
Right.
But I thought the movie did a good job of kind of targeting that audience. Like, it's PG-13. I think it's really meant for those like preteens, early teenage
Absolutely.
years.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't really give me the horror that I typically like. But it was well made. It looked really good. The effects were great. I just kind of thought it was a missed opportunity, but I hope that the audience that saw it did enjoy it. But I'd give this one a 2.5 out of 5. All of these movies this week for me have been a 2.5 out of 5. So
Dang.
I'm looking forward to next week's movies. Let's just we'll
Same, dude. Very much so. I don't know. Scary Stories. Yeah. To me, it was. I had fun with it. I thought the story, like in the beginning with the Scarecrow, I was actually kind of freaked out by that character. Like, I'm looking at his face on the poster right now. I thought that was pretty creepy, but I did like the mystery elements of the movie. I like the characters, but yeah, maybe it would have been cooler if they did sort of an R-rated version of this with like actual really scary stories.
Doesn't even have to be R-rated. Even if, just like I said, if they did a miniseries, kind of took each story, made it an episodic with different directors on each project. It could have worked
on Netflix.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Kind of like they did a series of unfortunate events, maybe something like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
You know, even though I didn't really like that at all, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you are a 2019 completist, I say it's not a bad watch. You can still get some enjoyment out of it. Just for horror, it wasn't really exactly something that I was looking for. But as a Halloween movie, I did not mind watching it, especially on Halloween. It was kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, this brings us to next week's films. And if you guys would like to join us with these movies, these are typically on streaming sites. If you don't have these streaming sites, there are other ways to watch the movie. It's the internet. You can figure it out. If not, there's free trials that you could do. But yeah, each week we all pick a movie, we vote on them, and then we have 3 movies that we have to spend 1 week watching, and then that's what these podcasts are for. We get together and we talk about them. So my movie that I picked is written and directed by Albert Brooks. It's Lost in America, 1985, and it's on HBO if you guys would like to watch that this week.
Finally using our HBO again makes me very happy.
Perfect.
Yes. Yeah. Oh. Nate?
What's your movie?
My movie is The Wages of Fear, a 1953 French film directed by Henri-Georges Clouzot.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard it's on the Criterion Collection channel, and I've heard it's one of the most suspenseful thrillers in existence.
I've heard it's incredible.
So I'm excited for that. There's a lot of YouTubers that do Criterion Collection videos that have recommended this
including
movie,
you,
so that's
by the
why
way.
I picked it. Huh?
Including you, by the way. And by the way, if you haven't seen Nate's Criterion channel, go check it out in the description down below.
That was going to be saved for the end. But, okay.
We'll say it again. No worries.
We'll cut it. It's okay.
No, we don't have to cut that.
But yeah, Wages of Fear, 1953. If you're a fan of French films or foreign films in general, I'm excited to check this one out. So you guys should check it out as well.
No, same here.
Awesome.
I've been told by many people to watch this one. I've heard it's one of like the most classic films to exist. And actually, it was remade as a different movie. I can't remember that off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure next week when we talk about it, we will get into all those kind of details. And John, what was your movie this week?
Yeah, my movie is actually a documentary. We haven't done any. We've done mockumentaries, but no documentaries so far. I saw the trailer for this in the theater like 8 months ago, and I was just like absolutely floored, and I could not wait to see it. It is They Shall Not Grow Old. It's a documentary about World War I with never before seen archive footage that's just been remastered to commemorate the end of the war. Done by Peter Jackson, and it just looks amazing. And Nate's, I believe, has already seen it, so
yeah, you'll be baffled.
Yeah,
you're gonna be very baffled.
I expect to be blown
check
away.
That one out. Yeah, I heard they colored it. They like did some like audio dubbing with actors, and they tried to make it authentic, and they sifted through like footage for an entire year. But anyways, like we said, we'll get into all those details next week when we talk about these movies. And that one's on HBO, I believe.
It is on HBO. Yep.
Okay, cool. So if you guys want to watch those movies, the links are in the description to go check that out and see what streaming site they're on. If not, like I said, just go to Just Watch and you can see what other streaming sites these things are on. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the podcast. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and listen to us on the go with iTunes, Podbean, and Spotify. Links are always in the description for that. If you'd like to be part of the fun, watch these movies with us and comment what you thought of the films each week. We'd love to read them out on the show maybe down the line. I think it'd be kind of fun to start getting some more audience interaction. We just kind of have to build and expand a little bit more and put a little more work into this. And hopefully we can start getting the audience
to like
involved.
us.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd like
I guess
to
that's
engage.
what it comes down to.
Yeah, we definitely want to engage with you guys and all that stuff at some point. Maybe do some Q&As down the road would be nice.
Yeah,
maybe we should do what the Tragedy Girls did. Get some nice followers.
Yeah,
maybe not in the way they
way.
did it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Maybe if we get
And if you have
desperate.
Okay, I'll do that part. Fine, you wussies.
Thank
I'll do
you.
it.
As long as
And if you have
somebody
any
does.
suggestions of films you'd like to see us discuss, let us know. But be fair. But yeah, fair warning: we've seen a lot of movies, so you kind of might have to go a little deep cut with these. But it'd be kind of fun, like we said, to get a little more interaction with the audience, get some suggestions, and do some fun stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
is it comfortable saying we'll watch pretty much just about anything?
I've seen a
Unfortunately,
Serbian film, so yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
we'll
like-
watch anything
We have watched
if it's a feature
Gold,
film.
and we have watched absolute doggy doo doo. Like it is.
Yeah,
I'll watch anything.
It's a fun but painful process.
yeah. I watched Microwave Massacre with you one time. Yeah,
the fuck
It took me
It
4
is
times
what
to
it
watch
is.
it.
Is that like the
It
little
took me 4
toaster
times
movie?
to watch it.
We don't even need to get
It's a
into
big
this.
toaster.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
a
an
big
oven.
toaster. Okay,
It's like an oven.
awesome. Well,
And the guy who stars in it voices Frosty the Snowman.
fantastic.
Fun fact,
I
alright.
don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ThoseMovieDudes to get all the updates that you want about our channel. Participate in polls. We usually have them on Instagram every once in a while, and to give us film suggestions. We also do post other reviews, like I saw Maleficent. If you want to, go see Maleficent. There is a review for that, as well as Jojo Rabbit on our Instagram page if you want to check that out. And yeah, thanks again for watching, guys.
And if you guys are a fan of collecting physical media, I will be bringing my channel back to life. I'm just Nathan Cram on YouTube, and that's CRAM, not KRAM for you people who can't spell.
That's what it is?
Yes.
Oh.
I'll be doing Criterion Collection videos, Blu-ray updates, gonna try and do some vlogs. I know Barnes & Noble has their Criterion 50% off sale going all through November. So I'm definitely gonna make a trip, and you guys can see the process that it takes into buying
shit.
movies. Yeah, it's
Cannot
gonna be
wait
pretty
to see
intense.
that.
But yeah, it's just gonna be me looking for videos, trying to be funny, and making really, really bad jokes.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with that channel. Links for all that stuff is in the description, especially if you want to listen to us on the go. All of the audio links and downloads will be all available in the description. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. And if you guys would like to watch the movies with us, check them out down below. And that's all I got to say. So toodles.
We'll see you all in the next one.
Oh, we'll see you guys next week.
That worked.
How was that? Was that okay? Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
guys.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah.